Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for a radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, just joining us to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad to have all of you with us as well. We're excited to welcome Kevin Ross to our program today. Kevin, someone who's made a name for himself as a singer, songwriter, and producer. He's having quite the 2022. We're going to talk to him about the year he's having, but also he is headed to Jackson, Mississippi as part of the Full Circle Tour with Kim and, of course, Kenny Babyface Edmonds. We'll talk to him about that, the music, and, of course, let you guys know how to stay connected with him. Kevin, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Man, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Hey, man, well, look, we're looking forward to seeing you here in Jackson, Mississippi here in just a couple of weeks. I want to talk about this year. First of all, it's hard to believe we're talking about April already, right? I mean, this year is really flying by, but you have quite the lineup coming up for spring and summer. What has it been like for you, Kevin, to be able to do what you love and to see the response from your fans?
You know what? It's no greater feeling, to be honest, than to, really get that response. When you're in the studio and you're working, you're only hoping that, people feel the same way that you do as you're creating it. And the most important thing is for us to, create moments so that, when people first hear a song by somebody that they really like, they remember exactly where they were, what they were eating, who they were with, all that stuff that matters in the sense of nostalgia. So, I'm glad that I'm serving my purpose.
Yeah, definitely doing that. And as I mentioned, you have several slashes behind your name. People know you as a singer, a songwriter, producer. Have you always known that in some form or fashion, Kevin, that music was going to be how people got to know you?
For me to say that, I think it kind of clicked for me probably about 16, but it wasn't really early. How some people are kind of like prodigies and they sang in church when they was 3 years old and stuff like that. So that wasn't me. I loved music for a long time, but it didn't necessarily hit me to say, you know what, this is something that I really want to do for the rest of my life until I was well into my teenage years.
Got you. Well, you definitely are making your mark now. I mean, one of the songs, of course, that people are hearing here on the radio is a song that's getting a lot of attention, Looking for Love. Talk to us about songs like that, because I think that's the other side of it, Kevin. You've been able to create these experiences with your fans and kind of bring them into the story, into the songs. What has it been like for you to see the way that song has just really blown up?
Oh, man, it's so crazy in the sense of just like I said, just, being in the studio and in your little small room and space to going out on tour and seeing people mouth the words word for word, lyric for lyric, they live those kind of moments. And so, that really puts a smile on my face. It's very, very surreal, and it's humbling too. So I don't take it for granted.
And among your fans, Kevin, and not just people who love music, you have your peers also that are fans of you as well. Talk to us about that experience. I mean, what has it been like for you to go from listening to people on the radio to now being able to call these individuals friends?
Yeah, I mean, it's really crazy, especially to get the love and support of your peers and the community. I remember one day I woke up and Maxwell had left a comment on my IG talking about Looking for Love, this record should be number one and this and that. And I was just it was just so crazy for me because I've been listening to his music pretty much my whole life, and I had opened up for him a couple of years ago, but we never really stayed in contact. But just the fact that he went out of his way to write such a thoughtful comment under my page really meant a lot for me. And I mean, so many others, OGs, investors in the game that really show their support and love for what I do. And it's awesome, man. Now I screenshot them because at first I would just kind of let the moments go by, but now I screenshot it. Just I'm human, just like everybody else. And certain days, I may not feel at my 100% best. And sometimes, I need a reminder, by looking at some of the OGs invest, and even sometimes even the thoughtful comments that, fans and supporters, leave as well. So, that's always good.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's one of the cool things, too, and I know they appreciate that. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Kevin Ross to our program today. You know him as a Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, producer, individual who's really making his mark in the music industry. And this year, he's all over the place. He recently on Instagram posted his spring-summer schedule. He's going to be going all over, including a stop in Jackson, Mississippi as part of the Full Circle Tour with, two icons, Kim and, of course, Kenny Babyface Edmonds. So I want to talk about that with you. What has that been like for you to be a part of this Full Circle Tour, Kevin, and to be among these individuals that people do, as they do with your music, love their music so much?
Oh, man, it's always an honor. I met Babyface back in, 2012 or 2013 or something like that, and I worked with him for about 2 weeks, and just that experience within itself, I was like, I may not ever meet or see or work with Babyface ever again. So I just had to, soak in that moment. But God had bigger plans. And, not only is it a full circle moment between, Kim and Faith, but it's also a full circle moment for me with those two as well. I remember opening up for Kim at his festival in Detroit called Mac and Third. And, just to be back on the road with them and still be an opener, but just in a different position in my career as well, where I have records on the radio now. So it's not like, I'm literally, just fresh out the gate.
I think that's it, and I think that is the cool thing too. As people have gotten to know you, Kevin, one thing, of course, they really are, I think, drawn to is your passion for music, right? I think it really comes through in your performances. I know the world changed a lot over the past couple of years, but what has it been like for you to be back performing in front of your fans again?
Oh, it's been great. I tell my audience now that I said I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to engage with you. I'm here to check in on you. It had been such a long time, during COVID and all that stuff of us really not connecting. And it's different when you're looking at a screen and you're talking to people who can't necessarily respond back to you with words as it pertains to actually talking back versus them typing back to you. So I wanted to make sure that when I did step back on the stage that I was way more engaging in the sense that, I spent half of my time on stage and half of my time off. You know what I mean? Just checking in on people and making them feel seen and heard and appreciated, and for them to enjoy themselves, because that's what it's all about. We're there to make sure that they feel good.
Yeah, for sure. And I know they're excited about being able to get out again, especially in Mississippi. It's been a crazy couple of years, so now people are looking forward to having a good time. Again, as I mentioned, Kevin's going to be a part of the Full Circle Tour coming to Jackson, Mississippi on April the 15th. You guys can get your tickets at Ticketmaster as well, so make sure you guys do head over there to be able to do that. And as I mentioned, Kevin, or for those following you online, you have a lot of dates that are lined up. Do you still have those wow moments at this point where you kind of look at what's happening for you, look at your success, and just say, wow, I'm actually doing what I set out to do?
Yeah, I definitely sit back sometimes and just be like, it's crazy that, it's one thing for you to have the desire to, want to go out there and do something, and then it's another thing, for God to kind of orchestrate it. And so I truly believe in divine intervention. And I believe that sometimes it takes a little longer for you to get to your destination because, when God is working on your future or working on your plans, he's not only just working on your life, but he's working on everyone's life that's associated with the plan or with your blessing. So, it may take 5 to 10 people to get aligned in order for something to, actually happen or something amazing to happen. And so for me, I've experienced a lot of divine intervention in my life and understanding that it all takes time. So for me to be at this place, I truly know that this is God's doing and that, I don't take it for granted because it took years to even get to this point. And I have a vision to even be further, but I understand that takes time. And I'm willing to enjoy the ride in the process.
And I think that's it. And the process is what we've been enjoying with you as man and women. Well, Kevin, it's definitely been great being able to have you on the program today to be able to talk to you about your journey, talk to you about your upcoming visit here to Mississippi, but also just your success, man. That is so well deserved. And I'm so glad that we could share that with our audience. Again, everyone, Kevin Ross has been our guest. Talk with him today about his journey, the year that's been already 2022 and what's to come. And Kevin, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you, man?
Absolutely. Make sure that you follow me at Kevin Ross Music, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. I'm on it. I'm also on TikTok now. I am Kevin Ross. If you are interested in getting tickets to the Babyface show, we are coming into your town April 15th. We will be there. You can get the tickets if you haven't gotten them already at kevinrossmusic.com. But we'll also be in surrounding areas as well. South Haven, Mississippi. We'll be in Georgia for a couple of dates. So if you haven't got your tickets, go to kevinrossmusic.com and get those. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, glad to have you. And definitely want to invite our audience, too, to go to their favorite online retailer, too, and pick up the music as well, including the single we discussed here, Looking for Love, too. Kevin, again, congratulations to you, man, and looking forward to our next chat together.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.